Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And before we start, I hope that you can like, share and comment my video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. So, in this part 2, lesson 2, part 2, I will explain about the element. So, the objective of this video is, the learning objective is to identify the elements in the periodic table that exist as atoms or molecules. But before we start, we need to understand what is atoms and what is molecules. So, what is an atom? So, atom is the smallest particles of the elements. So, we see the example here. I have 3 examples. The first one is wall. Second is number 13. And the third one is word boy. So, how do we relate these 3 examples to atom? So, see here. The smallest unit to make up the wall is a brick. Right? Is a brick. The smallest particles to make up the wall is a brick. How about number 13? The smallest particle to make up the word, the number 13 is 1 and 3. That is the smallest particles. And then the word boy. So, to make up the word boy, we need B, O and Y. So, means that the brick is the atom of the wall. 1 and 3 is the atom of group 13, number 13. And B, O and Y is the atom of word boy. And then we look at this example. I have salt, sugar and water. So can you guess the smallest particle of salt? Okay, yes, the smallest particle of salt is sodium and chlorine. How about sugar? Can you guess what is the smallest particle of sugar? Okay, good. So the smallest particle of sugar is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And how about water? We all know about water, right? So we know that the smallest particle of water is hydrogen and oxygen. So as a conclusion here, the sodium and chlorine is the atom that made up our salt. Okay, and the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen here is the atom that made up our sugar. And the hydrogen and oxygen here is the atoms that made up our water. Understand? That is an atom. Okay, how about molecule? How do we describe a molecule? Okay, so I will use the same example. So, for example here, I have bricks. So, as I said earlier, the bricks is the smallest particles of wall. Means that when you have lots of bricks combined together, it will form a wall. Means that our wall is the molecule. How about number 13? Number 1 and 3. So when we combine the number 1 and number 3 together, we will form number 13. So the number 13 here is the molecule, as it is combined, yes, it is the combination of of number 1 and 3. How about B, O and Y? When we combine B, O and Y, we will form word boy. So the boy here, the word boy here is the molecule which is made up by combining the B, O and Y. Okay, we go to the more scientific example. Okay, we have atom sodium and chlorine. When we combine sodium and chlorine, we will form sodium chloride. So that sodium chloride is our salt. Okay, the molecule of salt is sodium chloride that is made up by combining atom sodium and chlorine. Okay, how about atom carbon, hydrogen and oxygen? How this carbon, hydrogen and oxygen form sugar? Okay, so by combining 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen, we will form sugar. And then how about hydrogen and oxygen? When we combining 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, we will form molecule of H2O, which is water. So as a conclusion here, the atom is the smallest particles in a molecule. So to get the molecule, we will combine these atoms to form the molecule. So I hope that you have understand what is atom and what is molecules. Now we go to the main part. Which elements exist as solid and molecules? So we look at this periodic table. I will explain the elements in group 1, group 2, group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 only. I will exclude the element in the middle here, what we call as the transition element. We just focus on the element of group 1, group 2, group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So we look at the group 1 element first. So which elements in the group 1 that exist as atoms and exist as molecule? So the hydrogen, the group 1 element, we have hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. So only hydrogen will exist as a molecule of H2. Others will exist as an atom. Okay, how about group 2 element? We have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. So all of these elements will exist as an atom. How about group 13 element? We have boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. So all of these elements will exist as atom. And how about group 14? So for group 14, it consists of element carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. So all of these elements will exist as an atom. How about group 15? So element in group 15 is consists of nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Only nitrogen and phosphorus will exist as molecule, which is nitrogen will exist as N2 molecule and phosphorus will exist as P4 molecules. And other three elements will exist as an atom. How about group 16? So we have oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So in this group 16, only oxygen, sulfur and selenium will exist as molecule, which is oxygen will form O2, as sulfur will form S8, selenium will form Se6 molecule. But tellurium and polonium will exist as an atom. How about group 17 elements? Okay, for group 17 elements, all of the elements in group 17 will form diatom molecule. Dwi means the molecule is consists of 2 atoms. Dwi means 2. Okay, so dwi means sorry. Dwi means 2, means that fluorine will exist as F2 molecule, chlorine Cl2 molecule, bromine Br2 molecule, iodine I2 molecule, S13 A2 molecule. Okay, last part. The noble gas, which is group 18 element. So, the element in group 18 that consists of element helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon will exist, all will exist as an. So I think that's all of my video today. I hope that this video will help you to understand which element exists as atom and which element exists as molecule. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.